So today I'll be ranking all 30 starting point guards in the NBA going into 2022-2023 NBA season. Now I'm ranking this off kind of projections, like how I think they will project in the NBA on next season. So without further ado, let's get into it. Actually, before I get into it, this is my own opinion. This is what I think personally. I know y'all are going to disagree with my thoughts, but that's okay. That's what we're here to do. We're here to talk basketball. So if you have issues in my list, please comment down below. Let your voice be known. So as you can see that I've ranked 3 players already, and that's because so I could have my camera fit in with the rest of the video. So I've ranked Trae Jones, DeVante Graham, and Monte Morris all in the D tier. No offense to these guys, but they'll probably be the 3 worst point guards in the NBA. So the first player we have on this list is Jamal Morant. I'm going to put him immediately in the S tier, no questions asked. Bro came off a great season last year. Grizzlies finished second in the Western Conference, took the Warriors to 6 games in the Western Conference semifinals. Dude's going to finish top 5 MVP this year, probably going to average close to 30 points a game. There's nowhere else to put Jamal Morant but besides the S tier. Now moving on to John Wall. John Wall hasn't really played basketball seriously for like 2 years, so I really don't know what his numbers are going to be like, if he's going to be in shape, if he's going to get a feel for the game. And John Wall is one of my favorite players when he was in the Washington Wizards, but given his lack of play the last couple years, I might have to put him in the C tier. I know that's probably going to set some people off already, but we just don't know what's going to happen with John Wall with the Clippers. So that's why I'm going to have him in the C tier, but I definitely see him have potential to jump up to the B tier by the end of the season. Next, we have Cole Anthony. I'm going to put Cole Anthony on the B tier. I think he's going to average about 20 points per game this season like he did last year. He's a great shot maker. He's been a pretty good point guard for that team. However, I don't know if that's going to be his future on that team, given all the guards that they have. But as of right now, I think he's going to do great things for the Magic next year. That's why I have him in the B tier. Next, we move on to Cade Cunningham. This is already getting tough. I really want to put him in the A tier, but there's a lot of players more accomplished, and he's going to do more things in the NBA next year than him. So I'm going to have to put him in the B tier as well. He's coming off a great rookie season, but with his rookie season, his assist turnovers ratio wasn't great. His shot percentage wasn't great. His defense was great. His playmaking was all right. He's a good starting point guard as of right now. He's definitely going to be an MVP candidate in the near future. But I can't sell him too high, mainly because he had some big issues last season, and I think going into this year is going to be a big year for him. I think he could be in the A tier by the end of the year, but as of right now, he's going to be in the B tier for me. Trae Young, we're putting Trae Young in the S tier. The dude is literally the entire Atlanta Hawks offense. Even with the acquisition of DeJounte Murray, he's still going to be a number 1 guy. Still going to put up 25 and 11. He's going to be the wheels of that offense, and he's going to have an even better year next year. And I think the Hawks are going to have a really good year next year. I don't think there's really any debate whether he should be in the S tier or not, in my opinion. He's definitely a top 5 point guard in this league. You can argue maybe top 4. Trae Young is in the S tier for me. Mike Conley. I think I gotta put Mike Conley in the C tier. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch like a single Utah Jazz game last year. Their play style isn't that fun for me. Like the playoffs, I'll watch them, but I think Mike Conley next season is just kind of fade out from that Utah team and maybe get traded at the deadline. But with everything going on, I don't think he's gonna have a great year. So that's kind of why I have him in the C tier. Kevin Porter. I think Kevin Porter is a B tier player. I don't think he's gonna go any higher. I don't think he's gonna go any lower. He might drop to the C tier depending how good of a year Jalen Green has. If Jalen Green comes out the gate averaging 26, 25 points, which he possibly could, that's a lot of shot attempts and ball handling away from Kevin Porter. And Kevin Porter has always been a very streaky player. He have 1 month where he averaged 20, the 1 month he would average 10 on like 25% efficiency. So right now I'm having him in the B tier. He's an explosive offensive guard. Doesn't give you anything on defense. His playmaking is getting there. And his shot choices can be questionable at some points, but he is an absolute flamethrower on any team. That's why I'm going to have him in the B tier. Luka Doncic, S tier. No explanation behind it. Phenomenal player. We all know who Luka Doncic is. On to the next one. Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, this one. You got to respect the grind, respect the hustle, but I got to put him in the A tier. He's not S tier for me right now because last season was not a good season for him, coming off a major surgery, having a bunch of new teammates. Don't know how that Portland team's going to look. Don't know how Dame's going to perform. A lot of question marks around Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers right now, but we all know who Dame Lillard is, and I think he's going to have a great year. I don't think it's going to be on the caliber of year of these three guys, so I'm going to have him in the A tier. Chris Paul, A tier. His counting stats might not be there, but you know who Chris Paul is. You know what he does. I mean, every team he goes to, he finds a way to win, have crazy good seasons. He just always falls short in the playoffs. I don't think this year is going to be any different. I think the Phoenix Suns are going to be a top 3 seed in the Western Conference, and I think a lot of it's going to do to Chris Paul and his leadership, his playmaking, and plus he can go get you a bucket. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, Chris Paul is going to be able to drop 30 or 20. Okay, maybe not 30. We'll chill on that. But I think he can drop 20, 25 most given nights if the shot attempts are there. If his teammates are struggling, he's going to step up offensively. I don't think there's any real debate whether he should be in the A tier or not. James Harden. He's not S tier anymore, and I am classifying him as a point guard because, let's be honest, the guy's been a point guard for the past 3-4 seasons. His playmaking is absolutely elite. His offense is still pretty good. His defense is, average at best when he wants to play. And he's really going to be the wheels of that 76ers offense. And James Harden is talking the talk and backing it up by taking less money, by getting in shape this offseason. So I think he's going to have a great year next year. He's not going to be MVP James Harden. I don't think he will jump up to the A tier next season, but I think he's going to have a damn good year. That 76ers team is looking scary, especially if James Harden can put up like 24 and 10. Like, that's going to be a really, really good team. So, yeah, I'm going to have James Harden in the A tier. Jrue Holiday. This one's interesting. I'm in between A tier and B tier. I'm gonna put him in the. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. I'm putting him in the B tier for now. At the end of the video, I might change the list up a little bit. I might slide him up to the A tier because he's just that elite on defense. Finds a way to win ball games. Step up offensively when Giannis is out, Middleton's out, or either one of them struggling. You can always count on Jrue Holiday to give you a good game, and I think that's very valuable in him. And he's a winner. He wants to win. He will do everything it takes to win. But he's not as polished as these three guys up here, so I'm going to have him in the B tier. Oh, but it feels wrong to have him with Kevin Porter Jr., I'm not going to lie. We'll readjust the list at the end of the video. This is all first take. I didn't plan any of this. This is all first instinct. So, Lamelo Ball. This one is I'm putting him in. Okay, I'm gonna put him in the A tier. I think he's gonna have a phenomenal season next season. He's really gonna have the keys to the offense, especially with Miles Bridges scoring out of the picture. I think he's gonna have a really, really, really good year. His team's probably not gonna be that great, but if he can find a way to bring that team into the playoffs, I think that automatically deserves him in the A tier. And I think he might end up doing it. It might have to be through the play-in, but I think he's an A tier player. Still feels kind of wrong putting him up there with Paul, Lillard, and Harden, but I feel like he's better than the 4 guys below him. Like, he's kind of like a B plus to me, or like an A minus. Like, he's not quite like he's. You can argue both sides. You argue both sides. Again, if you don't agree with it, please comment down below. Darius Garland. I'm putting Darius Garland in the A tier. He first-time All-Star this year. He really was the offense to that Cavs team. He's the reason why that Cavs team was even in position to make the playoffs. Dude is going to average like 24 and 10 next season, I think. A great player. He's definitely one of the better point guards in the league this year, and he's going to be even better next year. So we're going to leave it at that. Fred VanLeet. Freddie. This one is tough. I'm gonna have to put him in the B tier, man. I'm gonna have to put him in the B tier. His defense is really good though. his defense is really, really good, and his offense is elite too. And he's the keys to that Raptors team. Is he that much worse than Darius Garland, or is Darius Garland that much better than him? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's okay. Okay, we're gonna come back to Freddie. But I think B tier is what I'm gonna have him for now. We're gonna come back to him. Tyrese Haliburton, B tier. I don't think he's below or above that. I think B tier is perfect for him. He's going to be a really good player for the Pacers next season. His playmaking is absolutely tremendous. His step back three is getting there. He's a great perimeter shooter, great finisher. And he's going to do big things for that Pacers team moving forward. Next year, I don't really think he's going to get that much availability because I think the Pacers are trying to get Victor Wembanyama, so they might shut him down pretty early in the season. But all in all, I think he's going to be one of the better point guards in this league. Just give him a few years. Jamal Murray, I'm gonna put Jamal Murray in the B tier, mainly because he's coming off an ACL injury. I think there's absolutely a chance that he gets up to the A tier if he comes back healthy from an ACL injury, which players usually do nowadays with modern medicine. So I think he's gonna be just fine. I think he's gonna have a really slow start, probably the first half of the season, and then after that he's gonna pick it up and get going. So yeah, I feel pretty comfortable putting Jamal in the B tier as well. I'm making an adjustment. I don't like Kevin Porter Jr. up here. He's going down to the C tier. Kevin Porter. I've made the official decision that Kevin Porter Jr. is now in the C tier. Kyrie Irving. If this boy actually played, more than 20 games a season, he would absolutely be in the S tier. But since he doesn't, he's going to go in the A tier because he's still one of the more skilled players the NBA has ever seen. He could drop 50 every given night. If he played an 82-game season, your team is making the playoffs. He's a very good talent, but he just doesn't play. So I can't have him up there with Ja, Trae, and Luka. If he plays all season and wants to earn a bag next offseason because he's on an expiring deal, he could very, very, very easily move up to the S tier. But right now, he's just in the A tier because of his availability. Marcus Smart. He's a hometown favorite of mine, so I got to put him in the B tier. I think that's pretty fair. His percentages can dwindle sometimes. His playmaking could be questionable sometimes, but he is a defensive player of the year, first time since Gary Payton. And he can light it up from deep if he gets his opportunities to. If he shoots the ball well and he's playmaking mode, he's playing defense, he's one of the better guys in the court. Steph Curry kind of lit him up in the finals, so I don't know how true that Defensive Player of the Year award is, but we're going to take it when we get it. You know what I mean? So I think I feel good putting Smart in the B tier. I think he's kind of on the level of these players. He might be like a C+, B- for me, but anyways, moving on. Lonzo. We're putting Lonzo in the B tier. But his availability, man, I don't know about that knee injury. I kind of want to put him in the C tier, to be honest with you. But he's definitely better than these three players down here, so I'm going to put him up in the B tier just for now. When he's healthy, he's one of the better perimeter defenders in the league. Led the league in in reflections before he got hurt. Great spotted three-point shooter. Great playmaker. And when he played on the Bulls looked really good. When he didn't play, they didn't look as good. I mean, that's usually what happens when you miss a starter. But you know what I mean? The Bulls look more fluent with him on the court, and I think fluidity in an NBA game is absolutely crucial. So when he's out, the Bulls are missing him big time, and when he's playing, the Bulls are a completely different team ball. He's a great player for the Bulls. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make. Moving on. Who is this? Oh, it's Kyle Lowry. Do I dare to put him in the C tier? Because I'm not going to lie. I was not a big Kyle Lowry fan. I was not a big fan of them giving him that money in the first place. Yeah, okay. I can't put him in the C tier. Not yet. He might fall to the C tier depending like his body holds up this season. But he's going to be a competitor. He's going to give the Heat good minutes. He's going to be one of the more effective players in that team. I think B tier is absolutely fine for Kyle Lowry. Jalen Brunson, another B tier guy for me. He is going to have all the attempts in the world on that New York Knicks team. He's going to have the keys to the offense. We saw what he was like when Luka was missing in the Mavericks Jazz series in the playoffs. He averaged like 25 points per game on good shooting. I think he could average maybe like 22 and like 7 assists for that Knicks team, which is definitely B tier worthy. Almost up in the A tier, I think. I think he could potentially move to the A tier by the end of the season. He's that good, and I think this was a great signing from the Knicks. It is a lot of money, but Luka takes away so much from other players, especially on the ball handling. So when you give Jalen Brunson his own team, we see what happens. We saw what happened when Luka wasn't on his team. I think he's going to be a great player for the Knicks. Definitely worthy of the B tier. D'Angelo Russell. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's B. He's definitely not A, and he's definitely not D. But I don't know if he's B. So that leaves C. That leaves C for D'Angelo Russell. I honestly don't think he's that much different than Kevin Porter Jr. and Mike Conley, or maybe even John Wall in terms of his play on the court. I mean, he's not a very efficient shooter. His playmaking is good at times. He gives you nothing on defense. And next season, I think his stats are even going to go down further with but with Anthony Edwards. I think he's going to become a MVP conversation player. And I think D'Lo is just going to kind of fade out of that, fade out of the ball handling duties on the Timberwolves. Maybe they replace him with someone who's better on defense. I got to put D'Lo in the C right now. That's gonna y'all gonna kill me in the comments for that, but that's where I got him. Shai. So this one was interesting because Shai and Giddey are both kind of listed as the team's point guard, and I originally wanted to go Giddey, but because he is more of like a playmaking guard, and I feel like you want Shai kind of on the wing more to be more of an offensive threat, but also when Shai has the ball, he's a great pick and roll player, great ISO player. So I think Shai's gonna just kind of take over the point guard responsibilities. Like maybe that's not intent to happen, but I think that's what's gonna happen, and have Josh Giddey on the wing. And when Giddey can make secondary plays off of Shai and all that stuff. So I think they'll rotate within the point guard position, but I think Shai's just gonna kind of dominate that position for them. That's why I have him at point guard. Shai, I gotta put him in the A tier, man. I think Shai is an A tier type player next season. If the Thunder want to win games, I say they can unleash him. He can average 25 points per game or more, and be a great defensive player for that team as well. I got him in the A tier. I got him in the A tier for sure. That's not much of a debate for me. I think he's better than all these players down here. Again, maybe besides Freddie, but yeah, I think he fits well in the A tier for me. Russell Westbrook hates me to do that, man. I love Russell Westbrook as a person. I think his bullheaded mentality it can hurt him. It has hurt him. But he goes 110% every game. He's gonna play every single game. But his fit with the Lakers team really just diminished him as a player, and he's looking like he's aging now. I mean, players who rely heavily on athleticism, they age a lot earlier, and I think that's what we're seeing in Russell Westbrook, and we know by now he's not going to develop a shot. His turnovers are absolutely atrocious. I think if he's traded, he can go up to the B tier no problem, because he will have to be the primary guy on the team if he is traded to a team that's not very good for draft picks and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to have him in the C tier for now. If he gets traded, I would put him up in the B tier, but that's where he has to lie right now. De'Aaron Fox, I think he's B tier. Some people might say A tier. I'm saying he's B tier. And I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm not the huge De'Aaron Fox guy, because he's a phenomenal player, but when he doesn't have the basketball, what is he? What is he if he doesn't have the basketball? He doesn't do anything without the basketball. And he's not like that guy who's going to, you give the ball to every possession and you know something good's going to happen. Like that. First of all, off topic, but when they traded Haliburton over Fox, I was pissed for the Kings, because Haliburton can play with other stars. Fox cannot. Fox cannot be effective without the basketball. So if he's having an off game, he's a non-factor on the team. And since his outside shooting is up and down, if he's having a bad shooting night, and if he's having difficulties at the rim, he's literally a zero on defense and on offense. So that's why he's in the B tier for me. Finally, last guy on this list. No real conversation there. He's the best guy on this list. I actually thought about making a list that said D, C, B, A, S, and Curry because he's up there with these three other guys. But I mean, he should be up here. Like he's not. He's better than three guys above him. Like for sure. More effective. It's a better player. He's the best point guard in the NBA. He should have his own tier. But okay, back to Freddie. I said I'll still go back to Freddie, and I made my decision to put him in the A tier. I think he's up there with the most of these guys. And then besides that, I really like my list. D'Lo is questionable, but I think C is where he needs to be for now. Jamal, he can move up to the A tier. Haliburton can move up to the A tier. Maybe. Haliburton's a maybe. Fox, he could prove me wrong, move up to the A tier. Cade, if he has a great year, he could potentially move up. And like Dame could, no, I'm not saying Dame can move down. James Harden can move down to the B tier depending how he comes off, next season. If Kyrie doesn't play, he's just going to be off the list. But no one on this list is going to move up to the S tier this season. I don't believe. So I like my list. I really do. I think this is a pretty decent list. Please let me know what y'all think. And I made this tier list, so if y'all want access to it, just shoot me a message on YouTube. I'll make sure I'll get it to you. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.